So welcome to this call, guys, and we're so excited to kick this off for you. We've had a lot of, new people join us in January. We've also got a lot of you guys that have been customers or coaches for a little while. And I know personally the biggest bugbear for pretty much every single one of us on here is nutrition, okay? The workouts, I really hope you're enjoying the bod groups. We're really going to leverage that app a lot more over the coming months and really try to move away from Facebook so that you guys have got one safe private space to share whatever you want to share with this group. Okay, it's completely private, and hopefully you're all seeing the benefits for those of you guys that have already started the workout programs. And the physical fitness, I feel, unless you disagree with me, is the thing that's probably the easiest to stick to. You've got these incredible workout programs. You hopefully have all had conversations with your coaches about what's best suited to your needs and your goals. And then really it's just about ensuring that we have helped you to the best of our ability with your nutrition. And the nutrition personally with Beachbody is pretty much the number one reason why I am so passionate about what we do. The fitness programs are amazing. If you know my background, it's that I was in corporate property for 10 years. I was a gymnast and hurdler when I was younger, always was super active. And I trained as a personal trainer 3 years ago and tripped on this opportunity to become a coach, really for my own benefit, for my own journey, my own wish to get fit and healthy after having my son. And I knew my nutrition personally was something that really needed work. And I'm sure you've all got your own story around nutrition. I know as women, generally, a lot of us have got a lot of issues with our mindset when it comes to nutrition, whether it's that you've been brought up with a parent that was always on a diet, or that you never had that nutritional education, which I genuinely believe, when we were growing up, wasn't really something that was discussed. It was all about, if you go and do a run, then, you can outrun a bad diet. And that quite simply is not true. I think we're a lot better educated these days, just in terms of what we see in the press, about the importance of nutrition. And ultimately 80% of our overall results, health and well-being, will come from nutrition. Okay, so I just want to address that first and foremost and say, if we believe that we're going to stick to these workout programs and then not follow any form of ultimate portion fix, which is the reason I fell in love with this, then we're not going to get the results. We're really not going to feel the benefit. And it's our job as your coaches to ensure that we've given you that best opportunity to really start on the right foot. And if you haven't, to just say, do you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but actually tomorrow, Monday's always a great day. I am going to start this, and I'm going to start it properly. And I think a lot of the time we kind of procrastinate over it. So what I'm going to do before I share my screen is, Jo is an incredible coach on my team. She has a lot of her own coaches and clients on this call now as well. And she's just going to discuss the Shakeology and the importance of that in supporting your overall results before we go on and talk about the ultimate portion fix, where I will share my screen and just go through a bit of the functionality. So go ahead, Jo.
Cool, thank you. Okay, so really it's just really knowing the science behind it and what it can actually do for you and all of the benefits of the Shakeology. So if I just explain what I do with mine, now when I first started doing the workouts, I used to take my shake straight after my workouts, which then meant that I didn't really want a lot of breakfast, so I had a little bit for breakfast, and then sort of carried on with my nutrition, sort of just eating normally throughout the day. But what I've learned is it's actually better for me personally to have the shake in the afternoon. And since I've started on the nutrition side of things, it works out a lot better with the way that I eat. So I have a recovered shake when I finish my workout. I'll have my breakfast, and I'll have a good breakfast. Mid-morning, I'll just have a coffee or a tea and a beach bar, then lunch. Then I have my Shakeology normally when the girls get in from school, which is sort of mid-afternoon, which is normally when I'd sit down and have a cup of tea again, and then I'll be in the biscuit tin or want something to nibble on while I'm prepping the dinner. So by having it at that time of the day, it means that I'm full up, then I have my dinner, and then what it also stops me doing is picking again after dinner, which was another real downfall of mine, which was eating in the evenings. So the shake just for anyone that doesn't really sort of know a lot about it, it's not a protein shake and it's not obviously a meal replacement. It does have some protein in it, but it also has all of the other things like your digestive enzymes, which help the body break down all the food and the nutrients, so they, you know, so everything can be digested properly into your body and you absorb the right nutrients. You've got prebiotics in there, probiotics, which is all the things that are great for your gut health as well. So again, it really helps with your digestion. Adaptogens, herbs, which actually help with things like stress and anxiety as well. Then you've got your fibre, loads of antioxidants in there, so obviously to, you know, clear out your skin and everything like that, and all of your daily vitamins and minerals that you need for just your general vitality, energy and well-being. So there's absolutely loads of stuff all chocked into there, all natural, but what it is all the nutrients that you wouldn't get from your normal daily diet. So this is like boosting you up. And what I found is, as I carry on taking it, as the months have gone on, you really, really start to see the benefits of it. You know, like my skin's really clear. I think Izzy will also tell you a story about her skin as well. She used to suffer with really bad acne. It's completely cleared her skin up. My hair's really thick. My nails grow. And just energy-wise, I just feel all over just so much better. You know, I never feel sluggish. And what it also does is it also stops you from snacking, your sweet cravings and craving all the bad things, because you've got all of this goodness going into your body. After a while, the goodness is going to outweigh the cravings for the bad things. And that's, for me, is a real plus point, because I used to constantly be picking at chocolate bars and crisps and things like that, and now I don't even really give them a second look. You know, I will obviously occasionally have a bit of chocolate, but it really isn't something that I would normally I would go for now. I'd either go for a piece of fruit, or again, obviously I've had my shake. It also really fills you up as well. So again, like, you know, having it in the afternoon is a really good time to have it, because it's going to get you through till dinner. Or alternatively, you can have it as a dessert as well after your dinner. If evening picking is an issue for you for sweet things, you know, have it as a dessert afterwards as well. And that's pretty much it, really, unless you've got anything to add, Izzy?
I don't think so. I think, you know, everything Jo said is things I've experienced. So clarity of skin. I naturally get quite anxious. I've suffered from bouts of depression in my life, and certainly ever since I've been taking this, I just, you know, whether or not it's just with what I do, which is being the best version of myself, or it's a Shakeology, I couldn't guarantee what it is, but I generally don't get those down slumps that I feel like I can't get out of, which I used to suffer from really badly. And the sweet cravings. My Greek grandmother, she was the daughter of a sugared almond, a Greek that owned a sugared almond factory. So I was brought up with trips to the sweetie shop every single day after school, and a sweet sugar addiction that went through my life until I learned about Beachbody. And honestly, I would eat about 1,000 calories a day. I'd be like, I need to stay thin. And I was an agent in London. I would literally live off, you know, fruit pastels, a bit of lunch here, a bit of breakfast. It was just so bad. And again, as Jo just said, I cannot reiterate that enough. I don't get those sugar cravings anymore, which was literally, for me personally, and everyone's going to have different benefits, the weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders, because I know that that was a real addiction I couldn't kick, and now I have. And it's going to give you so much more energy. So thank you so much, Jo. That was perfect. And guys, just with the superfood as the final thing, it really depends how you like it. If you want a recipe from your coach, please reach out. Most of us that have had it for any length of time mix it with about half a banana and blitz it with almond milk or even water and ice cubes. I personally wouldn't ever just shake it up with water or milk, because I just don't like the taste of it. And for me, it is that ability to have that sweet treat that feels like that, as Jo said, that mid-afternoon, you know, sugar treat, which for me, I'll always mix with a base with banana. Super basic, but makes all the difference. I think pretty much most of us do that. But again, if you want recipes, just let us know. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Now, let me just find... So first of all, I think the biggest thing for us is that we go in and we just get completely overwhelmed, which don't worry if you do. That's why we're doing this call. again, if you're going to look at this ultimate portion fix, guys, it's really important that you use an iPad or desktop or laptop, not a phone, because looking at a phone screen, you're just going to be fumbling around. I literally hate to look at this platform just on my screen. It's great for logging stuff, but for particularly the nutrition program, it's going to be really important to look on a desktop. So I'm just going to scroll down so you can see you've got the programs most popular, then you've got Nutrition Center, and we're talking about the ultimate portion fix. Okay, so you're just going to click on here. And I think this is where for a lot of us, we start to just then go into overdrive, because we look at it and we go, oh my goodness, where do I start? This looks like too much. We're already feeling a bit stressed about the fact we have to deal with, let's face it, for a lot of us, an area of our lives that we know needs work, and we don't really want to focus on it. So I just want to really today break it down, make it super simple so that you feel like, okay, I know where to start, I know where to look, and actually it's really easy. So start here. Literally start there, hit play on that video. Okay, the lessons are all here. Okay, and I'm just going to click here because you're going to start on module 1. And guys, this does take a little bit of dedication from you in terms of, it seems to be in Spanish where I've clicked on it, in terms of deciding that, you know what, I am going to make my way through these, and I'm going to set aside 10 to 15 minutes a day for the most part. That's the sort of thing you're looking at, to listen to these videos. And I know you're making times for your workouts as well, guys, but I can promise you, every single person that I've got on this call that has gone through this program and has actually listened to the videos, they are permanently changed in the way that they approach food, in the way that they are for the rest of their lives. And that might sound like a really drastic kind of comment to make, but it fundamentally changes the way you eat forever, and you are going to literally never want to look back. This is about adopting a lifestyle. It's not about going on Weight Watchers or Slimming World and then losing the weight and then not doing it again. It's not a diet. This is a lifestyle. And I wouldn't advocate something that wasn't a lifestyle. And not only that, it's a lifestyle you can take through with all of your family. You don't need to put them on a diet in quotation marks. There are recipes and everything else. So you're going to make your way through here. Ignore the workout section. That's if you're doing the 21-day fix. A lot of you are, a lot of you aren't, but I would just go into the 21-day fix section for, or the workout section for your workout. So ignore that tab. What I also want to draw attention to, and I think this is where a lot of us get lost, is program materials, okay? The program materials tab is really going to support you with working out exactly how all of this works, okay? So you've got here at the top, the ultimate portion fix workbook. Now, I know a lot of you guys have ordered the packs. It comes with the To Be Mindset leaflet, the pots, everything that you've ordered to go with your pack, but it does not come with the ultimate portion fix workbook. And I just want to make that clear. So it is a digital version. If you would like to have the ultimate portion fix physical workbook, I know a lot of people prefer to work from paper. Let your coach know, they can get that link sent to you. I think it's about 15 quid, and it's probably worth its weight in gold if you are a paper person to have it, because that helps support you moving through those videos. Okay, so that's number 1. Okay, and I'm just scrolling down so you can see they've got obviously the different languages. The most important part here, in my mind's eye, is module 3, containers 101. Okay, the other bits are going to be important as you move through your videos, but really if you're short on time, which a lot of you guys are, you're homeschooling, you work full time, you don't want to be having to, you know, look through all of these PDFs. So just want to make it simple and say module 3, containers 101. This document here, calculate your calorie target, is the most important document. Okay, it really helps you work out what your calorie target should be. It's pretty self-explanatory. You need to weigh yourself initially. Now, for me personally, and I know for a lot of us, we have this absolute love-hate relationship with the scales. For a lot of us, it causes kind of really disordered mindset. I don't like to weigh myself regularly. I do my measurements, but for the purposes of initially starting this program, I had to have a weight. You'll all need to have your weight so that you can work out your calorific baseline, okay? And this is, I'm not going to go through this now, but this is what you need to do, these equations in this document, okay? And then if you're working out, you just follow through. You'll need to get your calculator out until you've got your calorie target, okay? once you've got your calorie target, and again, you've got, you know, so you see here, this says extremely challenging. Some of you are doing, say, 9-week control freak. I should think that's classed as a middle of the road program. Bar, for example, would be not as challenging. It would be kind of middle of the road. So you're going to scroll up for that one. And just coming down, I think if I hit the bottom of that document, yeah, okay, so that's that document, okay, and then I'm just going to go back to the tab. And ultimately, once you've worked out your calories, you are going to click on this, okay? And this is what blew my mind as a new personal trainer who had done a nutrition course as well. This blew my mind because for me, and I know for a lot of us, we have been brought up being obsessed with calories, looking at the back calorie packets and associating whether or not we're on track just purely on calories. Well, let's face it, if we're going to do that, we're going to have an awful lot of crap, excuse my language, in our diets. There's a lot of sugar, a lot of salt. If we just focus on calories, number one, in my mind's eye, it's going to make us be pretty obsessed with them, which isn't healthy in the mind. And also, you're not going to be focusing on the right thing. So what I love about this is that it's super simple. Once you've got your calorie target, you're literally going to come in here and you're going to look at this and say, okay, what am I, portion A, B, C, or D, okay? And just to summarize, green is for vegetables, purple is for fruit, red is for protein, yellow is for carbohydrates, blue is for healthy fat, and orange is for seeds and dressings, and then teaspoons of your oils and nut butters. Now, personally, what I love, having moved through it, you know, I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, is that you'll rarely see me with the containers, okay? And you'll rarely see me with the containers because once you have done this for 2 or 3 weeks, you will learn to understand the size of your portions and eyeballing your food, which is, again, a thing I love. You know, if you're going to go out to restaurants when lockdown eases, you just look at the, you know, look at the menu, look at what's on your plate, and in your head, you can just work out how many containers you've had. And that's it. You have cracked this nightmare nutrition issue that you've had for the rest of your life with this super simple plan, okay? But to start with, you are going to use those containers, really, really important, so that you can get a gauge on what your portion sizes are like. I think for most of us in our culture here in the UK, we have too many yellows, which is carbs. We don't have enough greens, which is vegetables, and we don't have enough reds, which is protein, okay? So for me, that was what happened for most of us. I think that's what we tend to find. And finally, the ultimate portion fix food list. There is a vegan container plan. If you're a vegan, it's slightly different. I'm not personally vegan, but if you are, that all falls in line here, okay? So that's there. And that's all under that tab I just spoke to you about, Module 3, Containers 101. And then the ultimate portion fix food list, okay? Again, it's going to take you a little while to get to grips with the food list. You might want to order the workbook. I have the physical workbook downstairs, and I have to say, to start with, it's quite useful just being able to physically see in the kitchen, okay, cool, what falls under what, you know? So you can see, like, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. Vegetables, pretty much every vegetable that you would want to eat in the UK here. Purples, just one thing that I want to draw attention to is that 1 banana is 2 fruits because it's a very carb heavy fruit. Other than that, you're pretty much fine with 1 of anything, or measuring out something like your blueberries in that container. Reds, again, all of your protein. Shakeology is a protein, guys. It counts as a protein, although, as Joe said, it isn't a protein shake. But because it does have protein in it, it counts as a protein. Okay, you'll see there they've got some crosses on there. Okay, so that's if you're going to follow the carb cycling plan. Now, most of you guys are just going to follow the foundational fix, which is what I'm discussing. There is a section in the modules here and in those videos you're going to watch, which talks about carb cycling and timed nutrition. Now, unless you're somebody that has a lot of time on your hands and you're probably competing for a bikini competition, I honestly wouldn't advise it. I literally can't think of anything I would least rather do than work out every single hour of my day as to when I eat proteins and carbs, because that would send my mind cuckoo. But again, each to their own. Somebody might love that. Okay, so just to alert you to that. And yellow, so this is for your carbs. I do just want to add something here on carbs, and just from kind of a nutrition perspective, if you're used to eating white bread, white pasta, you know, lots of potato, lots of refined carbohydrates, okay, I really want you guys to work on that over the coming weeks. because those forms of carbohydrate release their energy really, really fast into the system. And because of that, they send your sugar levels spiking and then they dip, which leaves you with these sugar cravings. Okay. So if you're somebody that's typically eaten a lot of white carbs in your life, a lot of us have, it's what we do a lot in the UK, switch to the wholemeal variety. So wholemeal pasta, brown rice, oats are a fantastic thing to have for your carbohydrate in the morning. They have a very slow energy release, which means they keep you full for a long time. And just try to veer away from them. Like personally, I'll be honest, I don't love white carbs. I was brought up in a family that didn't really have them, so that does me a favor. When I have them, I tend to feel like my stomach feels really heavy, and also then 20-30 minutes later, I just want another slice of white bread and another slice of white bread. And really that's it. Then you've got your blues. So something like avocado is a blue. Your nuts and things are a blue. You've also got your cheeses on there too. Okay. And then your containers. What I will say is that just watch it with these. This is, again, in our kind of modern society, this is where we go a bit overboard generally. Okay. So measuring your blues is going to be important. So like even your avocado, I have it mashed a lot on my toast with poached eggs. And the final thing that I want to say as you go through these modules, but just to make it simple to kind of as an overview, the more that you can eat food groups together in your day, the better, because the body metabolizes food better when you eat more food groups together. Okay, so for example, in the morning I'll have wholemeal toast, 2 poached eggs, avocado, and I have coriander and things on there as well. I try to get a lot of those food groups into one meal. Autumn talks about that. And the other thing that I just wanted to talk about, I think that's pretty much it, and I'll open up for questions in a second, is just say the biggest piece of feedback that I get from people when they start doing this program is, Izzy, I'm really struggling to eat all the containers. Does it matter? Yes, it matters. And the reason why it matters is that often when people start this plan, they have been used to fasting, to diets, to not eating for a long period of time, because there is this stupid misconception that if we eat long way apart, then great, I've missed some calories, so that's really good for my body. That is slowing your metabolism down. And what you need to be doing is really working to boost that metabolism up. You are exercising, therefore your basal metabolic rate is increasing, okay? And the way that you are really going to flip a switch with your metabolism is to eat little and often. Okay, you're going to find probably that you're going to be eating more vegetables than you're used to eating, which is going to fill you up. And therefore people say, I'm struggling to eat all the containers. Does it matter? It does. And I don't want to put loads of pressure on you guys, but I want you guys to get the results. And it's going to be really important for your container plan to eat all of them. And I think for a lot of us, when we're in a slightly higher container plan, we look at it and we go, I feel really anxious. I feel like that's going to make me put on loads of weight. Again, it's a mindset thing. Just trust the process and trust me and trust that this works. It absolutely does work when you follow it. But if you find yourself bumping off containers because you think you're doing yourself a favor and you're losing weight more quickly, guess what? It's not going to work long term. You're going to end up wanting to eat more. The wheels fall off. You'll eat, less in the week, and then the wheels will fall off at the weekend. This is a program that is about a healthy lifestyle. And that is what I'm a huge advocate of. And that's what I want for every single one of you. So if you're missing containers because you think you're going to lose a few pounds more quickly, please stop it. Quick fixes do not work. Okay. And if you lose about 2 to 3 pounds a week, that's probably 2 to 4 pounds max. That's where you should be. And if you are losing more than that, I call to question whether or not this is being done properly. And ultimately the results that you're going to get are going to be limited. You will tend to flip flop and the wheels will fall off at the weekend. And I know a lot of us are like that. I came from absolutely that. I would work so hard in London all week. I would barely touch a carb. I would live off sugar. I was pretty stick thin. And then the wheels would fall off at the weekend. Super stressful week, loads to drink, loads to eat, all the chocolate, all the cakes. And if you eat all those containers, what you'll find is you're really satiated, you're really full, you're enjoying it, you're not feeling like you're starving or you shouldn't be. And if you are, please let us know, because it might be that you just need to bump up your container plan for your results. Joe, do you want to add anything?
I'd just like really just to say on weight loss, Like, and I mean, I was having a conversation earlier with Kim, she won't mind me saying, but we were talking about weight and the scales, and really just to, you know, weigh yourself when you start, and maybe weigh yourself once a week or once every couple of weeks. But for me, I mean, I started this program as size 14, and I'm now a 10 to 12. So, and I have literally on the scales probably lost about half a stone. That's it. I haven't lost, you know, loads of weight on the scales, but obviously my body has completely changed shape. So it's, you know, don't be a slave to the scales. That's really what I'm trying to say. It's really important.
I love what Joe's just said.
Yeah.
I hate the scales as well. I don't touch them.
Yeah.
I weighed myself, well, when I was at school it was really bad. I would weigh myself every day. So it's, you know, for a lot of us it's learned behaviors that don't serve us, and it's kind of like shedding that and saying, do you know what, that doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, because what we're trying to build here is people that are healthy, fit and well. And as Joe said, like size 14 to size 10, that's amazing. And also on the programs that you're choosing, under every single workout program, the same story is true. So you've got program materials, and you can open those, and there will be a document, but I can't think of a program that wouldn't have it, putting your initial measurements in. So for me, I think my Control Freak one is here, that I got with my Control Freak one, and I've put my measurements on the back, and I've done a 3-week measure, and I've lost 2 inches. I haven't weighed myself because, again, I know generally what weight I am, and I don't like to get obsessive about it, but that's really, really important, because we want healthy mindsets and healthy bodies here. Has anyone got any questions? And please don't be shy. Like, probably if you've got a question about something, somebody else has got that question and they're just too shy to ask, so please just ask away, or comments. Anything unclear that you want clarity on, please just ask.
I just want to say I'm 1 week in, and being like a single mum on my own, and I'm going to be starting my new job on Monday and everything, I'm batch cooking stuff and freezing it, and it's really helping. Like the fixate breakfast sausage, I've made 2 batches, and I've frozen them in separately, and then the night before I'll take it out of the freezer and let it frost overnight, and then cook it the next morning. And like there's a chili con carne that you can batch cook and stuff like that. So that is my best friend right now, the batch cooking. Just not, you can't do it on everything, but you know, there's not the fresh stuff, but there is certain meals that you can, and it really helps me because I'm so low on time.
I meant to say that, Jenny, so thank you so much. You just reminded me of something I forgot.
Yeah.
The batch cooking is really, really good. I love Sundays for that. For me, it's, I'll be honest, I don't really batch cook because I'm at home a lot and we just get the food in, and I like to make it fresh. But again, if you're, you know, nose with rhinestone, and you know that if you don't batch cook, you're going to eat whatever, go for it. Gaynor, did you want to ask something?
Yeah, I did. Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm just going to ask, I mean, obviously all I've done so far is weigh myself, and then I need to go in and do what you've said on the modules and work out calories for myself. So what I did last night for the first time was use the containers, really with the meal that we were both having, because I think one of the problems that I've got is obviously Gareth eats a lot more food than I do, so it's really interesting to take a normal meal. It was just chicken and rice and veg that we did, and it was really interesting to just portion it up in the containers and then put it on my plate, and it was amazing actually how much food Gareth would normally put onto my plate. And when I looked at the size of the portion, so I used all the containers for that meal. So I added some cashew nuts in, put them in a little container, made sure I put some extra fruit in, put some pineapple in. So basically I used all the containers for that one meal. And when it was on the plate, I thought, oh, that looks a lot actually. And I really struggled to finish the meal, even though I thought it was going to be a lot less than I would normally have. And Garrett's plate, by the way, was a mountain of food, which shows you how much he would normally have given me. But even with the containers, it was a lot. So is that a good way? Was that a good way to start? Should I be using all the containers for each meal?
No. So I don't know what plan you're on, and we can talk about that as an aside, but basically
Yeah.
I'll just tell you what mine is, so that you guys can get an understanding of the balance of the macros. So for me, I'm 2 yellows, which is 2 carbs, 4 reds, which is 4 lots of protein, 2 healthy fat. Have I said veg? I've said veg. 2 fruit, and 1 nuts and seeds.
Okay.
So for what I do, it's what I was saying, like try to get as many food groups together as possible in your meal, but don't try and put them all, because of course, if you put carbs in every meal and you're on plan A, you'll be going over. If you put healthy fat in every meal, you'll be going over.
Yeah.
And it really is, and a fundamental piece of this is just training yourself, and also we'll talk about it, to eat at least 5 times a day. So just to share what I do, I have my breakfast after my workout, which isn't my shake. It's usually porridge or toast and poached eggs. 2 hours later, I'll have a beach bar, which is the protein bars that they do, but you could have like hummus and carrots, or some cashew nuts. That would be a blue. But then just bearing in mind that you're not going to have blue at every eventuality, and also the yellows, which is the carbs. So I think some of them have got 3 carbs, but just making sure your snacks don't have the carbs in the middle. And then mid-afternoon I have my shake, which is my reds, and that is one of my fruit. I always put half a banana, so one of my fruits is always taken by that. And then my supper usually is the one that I don't have carbs in. I prefer to have my carbs at lunchtime and at breakfast. I get 2 because I'm on plan A. Again, don't think because I'm on plan A you will need to suddenly just have 2 carbs. If you're on plan B, it's going to be important to stick to the number of carbs that you've been given. And then for supper, we might just have like fish and veg, and it might just be 2 of the food groups. But just making sure that you got the found where the chart is, Gainer, where you're sort of logging how many of each container to have?
No, not yet. No,
Don't
I need
worry.
to. Is that on the under the tab?
The modules.
Let me just share it again quickly, guys, just so that, because I know you're all super busy, like we've got busy mums and all sorts. So module 3, containers 101, here. Ultimate portion fix container plans, and I can send it to you if you want, Gainer. If it's easier, I can just
Please. I'll certainly go on it, but it'd be really good to just have it as a link. That'd be really quick.
If anyone wants it, and you're one of my clients or customers, just send me a message now, because I won't remember. If you just send me a message, I'll send it. So you just got to work out your calorie target here according to that first document we went through, which is, what do you weigh? What kind of program are you doing? What do you want to do? Because some of you guys might want to maintain your weight. Some of you might want to lose weight. Some of you might even want to gain weight. That's what I love about this work. You work out your portion plan. So actually for you, Gain, a really good point with your husband, you can work out how many containers he is. So you can do the equation for him. He might want to maintain, whatever it might be. And then you're making your meal. And this is what I love. They're getting what they need container wise, which might be different to you.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, he's quite interested in, obviously he's always been in fitness and stuff. And I actually don't think he eats enough. Yeah. Because he's just, I mean, he can just eat anything. He's just that type of person. It's always been like that. But I think I used to be like that. But since having the kids, I know my metabolism's just slowed right down anyway, and I'm just eating all the wrong stuff. He can eat anything. He can literally look at a chocolate cake and he won't put a pound on, So I think it'd be good for him. I think it'd be really good for him, because I don't think he actually gets enough protein for when he's working out. I think that's really important for him.
And it is going to be important for anyone that's exercising, and it is a bit of a worry that we all go through our lives and without something like this, and often we will be exercising, we're just not having enough protein, and the body needs it to build the strength in the bones for the muscle and everything else. So it will be just strategically, when you've got like 20 minutes, maybe when the kids have gone to bed, just go to those 2 documents, because it is, I find it fascinating. It is interesting.
Easy.
I've
downloaded this app. It's called 21 Days, and it's basically you can track your containers on there. So I tried 2, but this one seems to be the best one. I don't know if you can see on the screen. You see at the top the red one, and it comes up with, obviously it's based around 21 Day Fix, but it's got all the portions on.
What's it called?
21 days.
21 days. I sent one to Gainer that was I think there's an Ultimate Portion Fix one that's £6 as well.
Yeah,
but
this one's free.
Is it?
Yeah, and you just put in which plan you're on, and then for each, like your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks and stuff, you just put how many of each container you're using, so then you can see how many you've got left.
Okay.
So it's quite handy.
Amazing. Thank you for that. That's really helpful. Yeah. I think all of us are, handheld if we've got something that we can just log on an app. It's amazing.
Could I ask a question?
Who's that talking? I can't work out.
Him.
It's basically, also with things like your naughty stuff, like when you get to the weekend and you want to have a gin or you want to have a glass of wine, would you advise to save some of your carbs up to be able to do that at the weekend, or which is the best way to work that
daily? I would, because you're going to get this wheel falls off kind of concept. If you save all your carbs up in the week and then go, right,
yeah,
let's get on it.
I'm going to go nuts. Yeah.
At the weekend. I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm in maintenance, okay? I follow the Ultimate Portion Fix and I have a gin and tonic every night at the moment. And I'm not saying for you guys you should do the same, because if I was looking for weight loss, I wouldn't be doing it.
No.
Because ultimately, it should count as a carb count, and I don't do that. I eat the carbs and then I have the gin and tonic, okay? It's lockdown. I'm giving myself some grace. I have just one, and I'm not willing to give it up. Now, that's up to me, but as somebody trying to help you guys get results, if you're looking for weight loss, it's going to be so important to follow that. So if you want to have wine, when I started doing this, I followed it to an absolute T, because I did have goals I needed to reach, and now I've reached them. I'm not so strict with it, which is the joy and beauty of it. And I would just switch out the carbs. So say you've got like 2 carbs in a day, if you want to replace that for 2 glasses of wine, then you forego the carbs to have the wine, to be following this technically to the letter. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kim, I've like you already know. I mean, I don't count my gins either, so
Right. Okay.
I follow the plan, and then at the weekend I just have a gin, because I'm not gonna. If I've got to stick to something that rigidly, I will fall off. So for me, it's taken a little bit longer. I haven't seen massive, really fast results, but I do still have. I don't drink a week, and then like Saturday and Sunday, if I want to have a gin or a glass of wine, I always have a glass of wine with my roast. Then I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And I think Joy's approach is right, because she's not got this really restrictive feeling, which a lot of us have felt, and she's found her feet with it, and she's found what works for her, but she doesn't feel like she's so restricted that then the wheels are going to fall off at the weekends, which I think is the most amazing thing about this whole plan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments, or don't want to keep you guys all Sunday. But honestly, if there's something maybe you wanted to ask, or you didn't feel comfortable, anything like that, just message your coach. The other thing that oh, sorry, Jo, go on.
No, I was just saying, ping us a question.
Yeah. What we are going to be doing, and I'm talking to Jo about this tomorrow in terms of the functionality and the way the group works, is we're probably going to be asking you to share one Ultimate Portion Fix meal a day, just to get everyone on track and just share ideas, and really just make that a level of accountability for everybody, not to share every meal, because again, that could just get a bit crazy, but just to have that accountability, sharing what you've done workout wise, and then sharing one meal followed by Ultimate Portion Fix. I think it's going to help everybody. So I'm really looking forward to doing this group with you guys. So lean in. I would just say you've invested, maybe you're brand new and you spent 160 quid. When I started, I was like, right, I've spent 160 quid on this now, so I better damn well make sure I follow this. Otherwise it's just a complete waste of time. So that all in mindset, go all in. Honestly, it's 10 minutes to read those documents. Okay, the videos are a bit longer, but this can serve you for the rest of your life. And how amazing is that this could crack lifelong bad eating habits, not only for you, but for your family. So just, you've invested financially, invest in your mind and your body, and it will be the best thing you ever do. Yeah, and thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Well,
Izzy.
no worries. See you all soon, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank
Susie.
Bye.
Bye guys. See you later.
Bye.